Hey guys, right back here, back for another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a gear overview. So we're going to go over two bits of my equipment that I use for airsoft. One being my pistol belt, and then the second one being my plate carrier setup. Going to be going through each bit kind of individually, and then the hows and the whys and the reasons being, and why I have everything in the way that it is, and why I would have it for an airsoft game. Starting off with the belt, it's a Tac Belts UK pistol belt. It's a 1.75 inch outer belt. I have the inner belt on my waist at the minute. That is attached via Velcro. So you put the inner belt on your belt loops, then you have the outer belt, which has male Velcro on the inside, and you mate it up, and then at the front to secure it has a cover buckle. You just put it in like so. Very secure belt, but it's only made for the essentials, which would be, ammo. So it's handy for that because it is a micro belt. You don't have a full-on battle belt or an Alice rate that needs suspenders. Decent bit of kit, but you can't carry a lot of weight on it. Knowing what I use gas blowback rifles and pistols, so my magazines weigh a bit more than your average AEG user in terms of the rifle. Pistol is the same because most people use gas pistols. So starting from the left hand side, which is my support side or my reload side, I have two IPSC style. They're 9mm pistol magazine holders. They're Kydex, and they're attached via belt loops instead of molly. So it's actually a 3. It comes in a 3, but I cut it down because I found carrying 3 pistol magazines on my belt is too much. So they've good retention. You can adjust it. They're in khaki, which doesn't match the multi-cam of the belt, but needs must. And if you can get something that you need, and you can't get it in colour, just fucking get it. You can paint it. So I have two magazines for my WEG series. It's a G17 I have, and they fit in nice and tight there. Further on from that, we have a Kydex M4 magazine holder. Same thing again. You can adjust it. Has decent retention. I have it loose enough because this would be the first thing I'm going to grab instead of the magazines for my plate carrier. I painted this in a similar cat patty pattern that I painted my rifle and my G series. Decent magazine pouch. I believe it's from FMA. It has a different belt loop holder, but it leaves Velcro exposed on the inside, so that way it has a bit more security, and I have it bolted down so it won't move. It's, a very simple belt, very simple magazine setup. I don't have a dump pouch. I just find when I use dump pouches I tend to lose magazines because they tend to fall out because I don't re-index them once I'm done or once I'm away from that firefight. Over onto my right side, which is my shooting side, I have the pouch I have a Leatherman Mutt tool. It's currently locked up in work. Just to have on the field because it has pliers, Allen keys, flatheads, Phillips heads and stuff. Very good multi-tool. I just have it there, so if I need to on the field, I'll have it on my belt, because more than likely I will have this on than my plate carrier all the time. Just further on from that, I have a Helicon Tex kind of Black Hawkish style holster from my WEG series. This is the Gen 5 with a couple of internal upgrades to it and my lovely cat pat paint job. I am waiting on a Dirty Customs Kydex holster. That's on the way. Might be in my next gear video, but it does the job. Like, the retention is decent. It doesn't flop around. It's fairly tight on the belt, and in my mind, using a secondary or using a pistol is your last ditch effort. Either your rifle's too big and you're in CQB and you need to turn corners, or you're out of ammo and you have your pistol. So that's kind of my belt. It is very simply set up. before, when I used to run belt kits, I'd have, you know, 2 or 3 pistol mags, 2 or 3 rifle mags, a dump pouch, a grenade pouch, and my pistol, and my back would be in shambles. So it's all about mitigating, well, not mitigating, but balancing your weight. Because your hips, you know, having a heavy belt on your hips can reduce mobility, in my opinion, and in my experience. So that's why I tend to keep my pistol belt quite light. And also, if I need to dump it for the day, instead of having to take everything off, let's say a duty belt or a rigger's belt, this, clip it off, pull it off, place it down. That way I can just run and gun with my rifle all day. Happy days, simple enough. So continuing on, we have my plate carrier. This is an LBX Armistice 2 plate carrier. It's a JPC style, bit smaller. It's a bit more comfortable in my opinion using JPCs, but same thing again, it's a multicam. It's fairly simply set up, really. It's actually very minimalistic because of the parts that I've changed out on it, and kind of this wanting just to carry what I need instead of carrying everything in the kitchen sink that every airsofter loves to do. So we'll start from the top. Standard shoulder pads, but underneath I have a set of the Viper padded shoulder pads, just to kind of, you know, be a bit more comfortable, because the actual stock ones are quite thin. So I've actually had these on most of my plate carriers in the past couple of years. They're fairly comfy. They add a little bit of extra padding. They have this kind of, you know, mesh material on the inside, which helps with airflow a little bit. At the front, it has a built-in admin panel that is quite small. You can fit a notepad or a multi-tool or a map or something like that if you're playing a milsim game. You can put your dead rag in there as well. It'd be a handy place to have it. It's different to the JPC. The JPC actually has built-in pistol mag pouches in the admin. This doesn't. This is kind of, it's flat. It's kind of empty on the inside. So there's not anything you can put in there. You can put a speed loader in, but it will tip sideways. You can put a knife in there, a bit of paracord, whatever you need to get you through the day. I would generally have antihistamines in there as well, because pollen hates me. The patch I have in the front are a set of J guys. If you know, you know. This is an IR reflective patch. I got it made by Tac Belts UK, which is the same manufacturer as my belt. And my sling on my TMMWS. He is very good at what he does, very quick turnaround, everything's very good, it's very high quality. I got this because I've always wanted one. Huge fan of the Clone Wars and the 501st Legion. So I even have it tattooed on my left arm. So that's just there. Do I play night games? Not really much. Do I own night vision? No. So I've just kind of got it as a bit of cool guy points. Further on, the Armistice has interchangeable front panels, so it has 2 Quasm clips in the front that you can unclip, and then you can change out your front panel. This is not the standard Quasm clip size. I think they're 1 inch, whereas the usual, I think, Quasm clip is 1.5 or 1.75 inch. This is a 1 inch, so you will have to buy LBX specific front panels or change out the buckles. Like on my one actually, the buckles have been changed out on my Spiritus system micro rig, which I have on the front here. I do have a Warrior 556 panel, but I don't have the smaller clips to put it in, so I haven't changed that over yet. So in my Spiritus systems rig, I just have a 556 insert here for my 556 magazines. So I can carry 3 of those in the back. Then I have a double 9mm insert here that I can put my KJW KCO2 mags or my 9mm mags into, or the mags for MP9. So it is a bit versatile. It doesn't take up any space because when it's empty it goes flat. And then I just have a flap here on the front. That's my Viper. That I can put a notepad or a packet of sweets, a small tool kit, something like that in here. Same thing again, it just goes flat. It has a bit of a material difference as well, just in terms of the Viper multicam compared to the Spiritus systems, but it doesn't matter. No. What I did before, underneath on the last 2 plate carriers I had a dangler where I found I was just putting stuff in there that I didn't need. So I took it off. It does, the dangler does help with getting shot in the abdomen and stuff. But, I'd rather mitigate getting shot in I'd rather get shot in the stomach than carry, stuff that I don't need. Before I was putting in, loads of just random bits of shit that I thought I'd need. I used to put my phone in there as well, but then sometimes I'd be freaking out in case I forgot to put it screen side in, facing my stomach, and my screen gets broken. So that's why I don't really have the dangler anymore. I have a Viper one, I have one in khaki, and I have one in multicam. Khaki one is for my JPC, and then multicam one is for this bad boy. Onto the cummerbund. So this is a Viper elastic cummerbund. It's kind of a copy of the SKD pig cummerbund. And this just came with a standard multicam Molly one. It was grand. Same thing again of wanting things minimalist. I would always put a giant medical kit and pouches and everything on the kit. So it was just handier to buy this. And also the one thing that this cummerbund has over every other cummerbund, it stretches, so it fits to your body a bit better, and it has the ability to take M4 magazines in as well. It has little pockets or pouches, whichever you want to call it, that are elastic, and they have little elastic tabs on the bottom so you won't lose your magazine. So I don't have anything here at present. I'll be building a radio setup now in the next couple of weeks. So I will probably be putting that in there. And that would really be it. Maybe have my 2 Thunderbees as well if I get shells for it. But I probably won't be gaming out anytime soon. So that's on the left side, which is my reload side and my support side. Over on the right side I have a actual cat tourniquet in here. It's loaded up, ready to go, so that way if I'm at a Milsim event or something like that, and the regen rules are that you have to get tourniqueted, it's there, ready to go, so that way somebody can come over and grab it, pull it out of the pouch, like so. And the way I have it set up, I was actually showing a lad in work a couple of years ago, so that way. So when things start to go wrong, you can just have it, throw it out, and then just open and pull it tight. Pretty cool. For Airsoft, I would recommend getting the replica ones because they actually have elastic in them. Because if you cinch it down too tight, it'll do what a tourniquet is meant to do and cut off circulation. But I bought these years ago for a Milsim because I couldn't get any. And I've just had it ever since. I generally tell people to leave it quite loose on me, so that way, I'm not having the circulation cut off my arm. But anyway, I digress. We shall go on to the rear of my plate carrier now, which, same thing again, is quite simple. We have a Temu minimap in khaki. I think he's called Panda Tac now. He's based out in France. Custom makes mini-maps based off the GMR ones. It's a pretty cool little mini-map. I got the basic model. A couple of my friends, they got the kind of Guccier ones, which have vaccine pouches on the side and dividers and hydro tube cutouts. I opted for the basic model because I don't use hydros anymore. I have a habit of either bursting them or forgetting I have them. So the issue is if you forget that you have it, and you have water in it, bacteria is going to build up and you're going to make yourself very sick. So I just stopped using them. What I use at the minute now are, I have 2 Quechua bottles. They're from Decathlon. Very inexpensive steel bottles. I think they're stainless steel. I have a 1 litre and a 1.5 litre. So I can put the 1 litre in here with a can of gas and a bag of BBs if I'm playing a long game. Or if we're playing a milsim, I'd have my bottle of water, my can of gas, and some snacks. Very small bag to carry a very small amount of kit. It does, even on the basic model, it does have the expansion that you can put the GMR Kydex buddy bag insert, but I haven't bothered buying that because, you know, buddy bags aren't really a thing in Airsoft all that much, unless like your team are running the exact same, well, the same setup. And currently with the lads I run with, I'm the only GBBR guy, so I could put AEG magazines in it, but that's extra weight, ounces equals kilos. So yeah, that is really it. I just have the bag. So from the clip there, you saw that my plate carrier and my belt work seamlessly. They don't interfere with one another. If I'm bending like this, going around a corner or going around a barricade, I don't have things digging into my side, which is a big plus. My setup is very simplistic. That was my idea kind of from the outset, was to have a very simplistic belt and plate carrier setup, so I could use them independently or I could use them together. So hopefully you guys took a few ideas from this. Maybe it inspired you to build a similar setup or to change yours. If you have other ideas on things, be welcome to put them down in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.